What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Swole, TCG, and we're out here with that fire, that heat, that sauce once again, boys. I promised you guys I was going to bring this one to you. I'm excited to bring this one to you. Two of my favorite archetypes combined into one. I love this about as much as I love Canine Azamita. We are working with Canine Fiendsmith, all right? A lot of people have been asking me about this deck profile. I cannot wait to get into this one with you guys. But before we jump into this video that I'm super hype about, let me talk to you. Did you guys get your steps in? Did y'all touch grass today? Boys, did you guys step outside and breathe that beautiful fall weather in? Let me know. Let me know. I need to hear it, all right? Because, you know, we're not just bettering ourselves mentally, boys. We're bettering ourselves physically, all right? So get out there, get active, stay active. It's only going to better you with your cardiovascular health. It's going to better you with your immune system because your metabolism is going to get better. And guess what? That's all part of the endocrine system. Once your metabolism goes up, your immune system goes up. It's going to help you all around, boys. It's going to help you all around. You don't have to be a bodybuilder like me to get active and stay active and live a healthy lifestyle, all right? Just getting out there, getting some fresh air, going for a walk, getting that blood circulating, help improve your injuries, help improve your mood, get the endorphins flying. That's what we need to do, all right? Just better yourself all around. And if you're my soulies, boys, once you finish that workout, once you crush that leg day, that chest day, that back day, that push day, that pull day, whatever day you're on, whether you're on a bro cycle or you're on a push-pull legs, whatever you got going on, boys, hit the cardio, all right? The cardio is just as important as the workout. So make sure once you're done with that, put this video on, guys. Just put this video on and go ahead and just watch this video on the treadmill. Watch this video on the Stairmaster. And once this video is done, your cardio is done. It's that easy. It's what I do every morning, guys. It's what I do every morning. So make sure you guys are getting out there and staying active. Now, without further ado, I'm very excited for this one. So let's go ahead and jump on into this Fiendsmith Canine deck profile. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump on into this deck profile here. Very excited to bring this to you. We'll start off with the engines and we'll go non-engine, extra deck, and then side like we always do. First up for the Canine engine. Our 3 ofs is going to be 3 copies of a case for Canine. This card is absolutely cracked. We wanted the utility to be able to search for a Noroi, a Jokul, an Azuna if need be. Just having that versatility is 20 times better than a chaotic elements that can only get you a Jokul and Lantern. So with this, we want as much diversity as possible. Also, this is just very good to grab a Noroi, send it, and be able to look at our opponent's hand. So we need to max out on a case for Canine. When you do any kind of Canine build, you should max out on this card because this card is literally God card. It's the best starter in any deck. Next up, we are on obviously 3 copies of our Azunas. All right, so same thing, one of the best hand traps in the game. Card's extremely slept on right now. If you guys don't have Azunas, this is the best time to pick them up. Extremely cheap, extremely affordable right now. They're like 15 bucks a copy for normal ones. And I think these guys jumped all the way down to like 60s or something. So good time to pick these up if you don't have them already. But you want to max out on this. It's a great interruption, and it's only going to continue to get better, especially after Myth 2 gets hit on the next list. Which brings us to our next 3 of. We are on 3 copies of Noroi. Guys, Noroi is literally a god card this format, and probably will continue to be a god card. Like, just take the time to appreciate this. This card is phenomenal. Being able to look at your opponent's hand and special summon a 5 from your deck just to immediately go into Canine plays is just absolutely phenomenal. We want to max this out. My general rule of thumb, which I'll get into it, is I don't like having more than 6 normal summons in my deck. This is one of my favorite normal summons. It's very similar concept to the Primite Fiendsmith build, where I played obviously 3 Ethers and then 3 Lacrimas. It's going to be the same concept with the Fiendsmith Canine build. We play 3 Norois because we want to see a Noroi, and then we also play 3 Lacrimas because Lacrima is probably up there with Noroi as one of the best starters. Honestly, Lacrima is better than Noroi, but we'll go ahead and get into that once we get there. For the rest of the Canine engine, we downgrade to 2 copies of Jokul. You'll always need 2 copies of Jokul just to enable plays. Whether you grab one off of Noroi, once you get into it, you need one, and then you need one to be able to special after the fact. So 2 copies of Jokul is pretty mandatory. Then for your 1-ofs, you're on 1 copy of Lantern and then 1 copy of Lupus, pretty standard here. This is the standard ratios if you're mixing this engine. If you're mixing this engine with any other deck, I would continue to run these ratios because this provides the best consistency, giving you the most access to the K9 engine, and also not taking away from what other engine you're splashing in. So very similar ratios. If you see my K9 Azamina creation, you know, this is the same exact ratios that I had inside of it. So you want to maintain that as much as possible. And then for our last K9 card, we're on the single force release being a double disruption, the non-target pop. This is just the best quick play to play. I do miss the other quick play a lot after playing pure. I love pure K9 so much, and I fell in love with it more as I continue to play it. So I do miss the other quick play a lot, just the versatility of it, being able to activate at any time and target any ring 5. But force is the best one. You always want to play it in a K9 build because it just enables so much disruption for your opponent. So, and it just forces them to interact. So obviously play the 1 thrust or the 1 force release. That is it for the K9 package. That is pretty standard, guys. This is the ratios that you need to keep. If you're playing K9, I would not change those ratios at all. All right, I would not change those ratios at all. So next up is the Fiendsmith engine. And we'll go ahead and start off with the obvious 3 engravers. So engraver obviously is probably, as funny as it is, engraver's not the best starter because you just lose the draw a little bit harder, but we want to see as much of the other engine as possible. And now with no bridge, you need to maximize your ability and chances to see both engines inside a 5-card hand. So we have to maximize the Fiendsmith engine out completely. That also brings us into probably my favorite normal summon in the game, next to Snake Eye Ash. This is probably better than Snake Eye Ash. Lacrima is by far the craziest normal summon in the game. I said this in every time I make a Fiendsmith build or deck profile, just going over Fiendsmith, I stress it because like I feel like people don't realize how broken this card is. And this card is only that broken because of Requiem, because the moment you normal summon her and then you send an engraver to grave, like you already have so much extension and follow-up, and then you link her off into Requiem, and even say the imperm this, right, when you normal summon it, you go into Requiem and the Ash the Requiem, you still have a Lacrima and Requiem and grave to dump trap on their turn. So it still ends on an interruption even if the hand trapped is twice, which is just wild. Like this is the most like value package you could possibly get thanks to her and Requiem. Because of Requiem being in the game, this card is the most broken normal summon. So phenomenal card. We want to max this out. I want to see it. And like I was saying before, my general rule of thumb, guys, is to make sure that you guys are playing no more than 6 normal summons. Okay, yeah, technically you can normal summon the Jokels and blah, 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 but I'm talking about your main starters, right? My main starters is always going to be a Lacrima or a Naroi, all right? Those are going to be my main normal summons. So being able to see access to both of those is just absolutely phenomenal, and especially not having a bridge, we want to make sure we're able to see these cards. Next up, probably the best starter for the Fiendsmith engine next to Lacrima. We're playing 3 copies of Tract. Tract is phenomenal, especially because it just helps you a lot more. You see Tract plus a case for K9 in your hand, you won the game. Hands down, you won the game. There's no question about it. An opponent cannot beat out a Tract plus a Naroi. Like it's just crazy. Like the amount of stuff or a Tract plus a case for K9. So like, this card is just absolutely phenomenal. This helps you get past the whole, you already used your normal summon. Having the Jokels too can help kind of allow you to summon out Lacrima like that. And, you know, so it provides just more value. You need more ways to special summon. Essentially, this is like the Fiendsmith version of Jokel per se. But this card is just absolutely phenomenal, and we need to max it out. Like I said, we want to see as much of the engine as possible now that we have a clean bridge. Just gone. Since he got rid of Moon, I mean, it is a lot harder to bridge engines. You'd have to play a crap ton of bricks, and it's not effective. With how many 1-card starters, all these are 1-card starters, you will guarantee to at least see 1 from each engine. With this amount of engine, you're gonna see 1. So that's the most important part. So you'll always see both engines. So make sure you guys max out on the tracks. Which brings us to our last two cards here. One Lurie and one Paradise. Not much to say here. Paradise is absolutely goated card. It's a phenomenal card. You need to play it. Lurie is just absolutely phenomenal as well. I'm gonna bring it back here real quick to the tracks. So tracked is 20 times better now because, as you guys know, we do have a Lacrima back inside our extra deck. So this will help enable more push, more follow-up when you have this card engraved, because you can just recur so much advantage just because Lacrima is now back. So all Fiendsmith decks got buffed because of having Lacrima back, and having a track literally makes no fiends inside your hand dead. So like, even if you're having a tough time, maybe you had a Noroi and like an Engraver and Lacrima in hand or something like that, it doesn't really matter. But like, if you have the two life fiends, you just immediately use this and you can go straight into your whole entire Lacrima lines and still have your normal summon. So it's just, it's crazy, guys. Like, the versatility of tracked is absolutely phenomenal. Stay tuned. I will make the combo guide for you guys so you guys can see how different one card starters go about it and how you should maintain your end board with the Fiendsmith K9 variant and how you should go about it. This deck is very strong, very powerful, highly slept on, and it is ridiculous. You know, it is up there with K9 Azamina for me. I think K9 Azamina is a little bit more fluid because you don't run into the issue of the normal summons and like this deck does. But even with Fiendsmith Primite, I play that religiously. I know Primite and Fiendsmith like the back of my hand. It's just insane. I never really had that much confliction, and Fiendsmith Primate actually got 20 times better because he can bridge, and it's a lot easier to bridge with it. So, but these two engines, they don't necessarily bridge anymore, and you need to maximize the starters, and it can come up where it could conflict with the normal summons. But that's why the ratio, the rule of thumb, is to not have more than 6 normal summons, 6 main starters, all right, I should say. So, and that's the whole point of this, right? So we technically have 6 different ways to get into Fiendsmith lines without performing a normal summon from the Fiendsmith portion, and then we have, you know, a million ways with K9 to do our K9 plays, because I prefer to go through the Noroi lines and get a bunch of follow-up with that and then just have the Fiendsmith package on the side. But if I don't have that, it all depends on your hand. So I'll cover everything inside the combo guides for you guys so you guys can see the interaction, see how to play the hands, see what your inboard should look like and what to do when you draw certain hands. So we'll make sure we do an in-depth combo guide for you guys, and I'll make sure I cover everything. Let's go ahead and move on to the non-engine. Naturally, with the heavier amount of engine, we are down on non-engine against compared to pure, at least. So we're on 2 copies of Nibiru. Nibiru is still a god card. Like I say always, when it's not a nib format, it's a nib format. When it is a nib format, it's a nib format. It's always a nib format, guys. You should always have Nibiru in your deck somewhere. I think 2 copies is fine, especially right now because nib needs to be paired with something else. Which brings us to our next 2 Imperm. It might seem weird that it's only at 2, but like I said, there's more dynamic and powerful hand traps this format, and this will change, guys. It changes with the format how you should line up your non-engine. But for right now, Imperm is not as powerful, but it is very powerful paired with the Nibiru. So having 2 and 2 is absolutely fine, and we side in the thirds. So I'll just give that sneak preview right now. Our next 2 is going to be Droll. Droll is a phenomenal card this format. I didn't value it enough to put it at 3, but I know it is good, and I do want to have it inside my deck just in case, but there are matchups where Droll is just not very relevant. So I don't want it to be my main focus inside my non-engine, so I think 2 is just absolutely fine. We can keep it at 2 here, and then I obviously side in the third for the matchups that it would be very oppressive in. Next up is our 3 ofs. 3 Ash. Like I say all the time, guys, Ash is by far the greatest hand trap in the game right now. A lot of people sleep on it. A lot of people talk crap about it. Other YouTubers have like downplayed it and like put it on lower end of their tier list. And I'm like, I don't think people realize how powerful Ash is. I mean, not only
is she an offensive threat and can stop a lot of offensive shenanigans, she is defensive too. The fact that she can be defensive and protect you from Charmies makes Ashe just phenomenal. It is one of the best hand traps in the game. And when you start your deck list, 3, because you need protection and you also want to beat your opponent. This is very diverse. It is very flexible. This is the best utility card you can put in your deck for non-engine. I can't stress that enough, because if you're going first and you get Charmied, you have an out. You know, if you're going first and you get, you know, Azunadon, you have the out to Azuna right there. Let's Ashe that, all right? So you Ashe that Azuna effect to dump Lupus to the grave, right? So then you just sit with an Azuna on board and then they look dumb, all right? Ashe is just a phenomenal card. And then even so, even if you didn't do that, you still have it for more disruption, because this is a powerful disruption. 9 times out of 10, most cards are going to send to deck, special summon from deck, or add a card from the deck, and Ashe will always come up. So this always needs to be at 3. Don't ever think about taking Ashe out. And then 3 Fua. This card is a threat. People have to answer it. It is a phenomenal card. It is phenomenal. It is very fair, honestly. The fact that it prevents you from doing special summons from, I mean, not prevent, but it's going to make opponent play weird. They're not going to want a special summon from deck. It forces them out. A lot of these people that want to, you know, spam out monsters from their deck and spam out monsters from their extra deck. That is not fair, all right? So when you have a deck that is spamming out monsters from the deck and extra deck, that's not fair. So you need a card that is also not fair, right? So it's balance. So Fua provides balance to the game. It protects you. It makes your opponent have weaker boards. It forces them to waste interactions. Maybe they use their Ashe on it, so it has less, they have less hand traps for you. So this is a phenomenal card, guys. This is another card that is just immediately put inside your deck at 3. It goes hand in hand with Ashe. I mean, you already know when you're building a deck, these are the first 6 cards that you're gonna have in it. Which brings us to the next 2. Call by and talents. With this format coming up, I do feel like K9 is going to pick up in popularity just because of how powerful it is. With that being said, call by is going to be a lot more relevant because if they're smart K9 players, they're going to be playing Shifter, and we don't like Shifter. This deck does not like Shifter at all, right? Because we're playing Fiendsmith, we need our stuff in the grave. Call by is just a phenomenal card. Drolls are flying out. We want to make sure we have an out for Droll. You know, and then this is also an excellent board breaker. You know, when you're pushing in through a board, even going second is honestly not that bad, because the moment they tribute their Mirakumo and try to use Mirakumo's effect to come back, let's just call by that, right? So it forces out a lot of interruption. It stops a lot of shenanigans. And then talents is talents. This is a god card. If you're not playing this card inside your main deck, I honestly don't know what you're doing. Like, I don't know what you're doing. I'm not going to ridicule anybody that doesn't have it inside their main deck. Naturally, everybody has their own taste and preference, but I'm going to stress this right now. This is a god card, all right? This is an absolute god card. This is a pot of greed. This is a snatch steal. This is a look at my opponent's hand and rip. This card is insane. This card is insane. It is the best board breaker. It is the best card to have in your hand going first or second. Every time I see this card, I win the game. Most of the times, I'd say 9.9 times out of 10, I win the game when I have this card in my hand, all right? Play this card, all right? This card should be in your main deck. I could see siding a called by, right? I cannot see this being sided. This has to be in the main deck. This is too good going first and second. So every deck list should have this card inside of it. Now we'll go into the extra deck. This is where we get a little spicy. So first up, we are on 2 copies of Requiem. Nothing much to say here, but I will cover it just because it's been a minute since I've done a Fiendsmith build, so I do want to stress this again. 2 Requiem always comes up, guys. If you're playing a Fiendsmith build, play 2 Requiem. All right, don't be that guy that plays 1 Requiem and then misses it. All right, 2 Requiem always comes up. You don't need more than 2. You definitely don't want 1, because the moment 1 goes away, you're just shit out of luck, especially in grind games. 2 always comes up. It makes your grind games just 20 times better, infinity times better, honestly. But on top of that, having 2 is just extremely oppressive, and it's very hard for an opponent to deal with 2 Requiem. Next portion, sequence. need to have sequence, obviously. Not too much to say here. We like to fuse. Desiree is the thing. And Desiree stops a lot of these board breakers out right now. So want to make sure we have sequence. And then for our last Fiendsmith link, we have the One Egg Monday for the OTK lines, more shenanigans, a lot of crazy plays you can do with this card. I'll cover everything you need to know about the Fiendsmith part of the engine inside the combo guide, the Fiendsmith K9 combo guide that is going to be coming up very soon. But that is it for the Fiendsmith package inside this. Obviously we have the Caesar portion coming up too, but for the links at least. Our last link is SP Little Knight. It's SP Little Knight. You want to have it. It's pretty standard. If I was going to cut a card, it would probably be SP, but with this build, SP is very good. When you do mixed builds like this, sometimes you get hurt with different consistencies. SP really helps break bridges and really helps give a solid push into your opponent's boards. For our fusions, we are on the 1 copy of Necroquip, 1 copy of Fiendsmith Lacrima, and 1 copy of Fiendsmith Desiree. If I cut SP, it would be to make a 2nd copy of Desiree, because 2 Desirees does come up sometimes, more often than not. So I would like to have another copy of this. Lacrima, there's not much to say here. This makes Fiendsmith 20 times better. It provides you with infinite resources. It grabs back your banished cards. Like, this card is just absolutely cracked. Konami, why have we not gotten upgraded printing? If anybody from Konami is watching this, guys, please give me a Starlight. Give me an OTS Ulti. This card deserves it. Look at this artwork. Like, Konami did a phenomenal job with the Fiendsmith artwork. Like, can we please get a higher rarity? How is this crack card a common still? Anyways, and I still need to get my Starlight Necroquip, but either way, this is your fusion lineup. Pretty self-explanatory, pretty standard. The only thing I think wouldn't be too standard is I would like to have the 2nd Desiree, but I also wanted as much flexibility on our other side of the house, which is our K9. I wanted to make sure we had plenty of diversity with K9 movement. So naturally, we are on 2 copies of Ripper. Now, like I say in all my K9 builds, you always play 2. Don't play 1, play 2, all right? I can't tell you how many people I've seen, I've even seen a couple top players playing 1 Ripper, and they even say, like, I kind of wish I saw 2, but at the same time, it's fine with 1. Guys, no. I don't care what any of these YouTubers is saying to you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, because I play test these archetypes into the ground. You need 2, all right? You always need 2. It's the same thing as Requiem. These are our god cards in this. This enables so much. This is our searchers. This is our starters. Like, these guys do so much. Play it at 2. Play it at 2. You got 1 for the push, 1 for the crackback, 1 for the push, 1 for the crackback. Guys, the crackback is real, all right? You think you make a board, your opponent's gonna try to do what they can to break it. You need something for follow-up. You need 2, all right? It always comes up, guys. Don't be that person that has 1 and is like, damn, I wish I listened to Swole and played 2. I promise you, it comes up more than you think. Next up for our K9 1-ofs, 1 Jax, 1 Werewolf. Jax enable OTK lines. Also, we have another flexible 5 to go into to just help break boards and push. And then Werewolf is Werewolf. Just a phenomenal card, and being able to have this is just absolutely ridiculous. That is it for our K9 XYZs. And then the God Trio here, 1 DDD, 1 Typhon, and 1 Zeus. This is pretty self-explanatory. We're playing XYZs, even our Fiendsmith going to Caesar. So Zeus is obvious. Typhon, I could see actually cutting Typhon in this build. And if I did cut Typhon, it might be to play a 2nd copy of Werewolf. Like, that might be my thing. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could play Valon. You could play, like, maybe a Nash package if you're cutting the SP too, but SP can come up inside this build. So if I was cutting this, you know, this could be the other Desiree. You could cut SP or this, and it could be the other Desiree and the other Werewolf, or so on and so forth. I think I'd put in another Desiree before I put in another Werewolf. Because 2 werewolves inside a mixed build doesn't come up as much. It does come up, but it doesn't come up nearly as much for me to really consider playing a second one. But 2 Desiree does come up enough for me to think about playing a second one, especially inside a lot of grind games, especially in mixed builds like this where you get into a grind game. Having a second Desiree definitely helps out quite a bit. But Typhon's still very phenomenal, especially with Lupus, just being able to have extra disruption on your opponent, being able to survive a round. So Typhon is very prevalent, probably more prevalent than the SP. And that is it for the extra deck. Guys, this deck, by the way, I did not say it already, but this is a clean 40 build. We are at 100% 40, so it's phenomenally clean, right? This is a 40 build. You gotta love it. So for the side deck, we got more going second cards because obviously we're playing heavier engine. So I haven't done the side decking video, but I'm gonna break down the process and theory behind it a little bit for you guys in here. The whole point of your side deck is to play to the strengths and weaknesses of your deck, all right? So if you know your deck is stronger on engine, all right, that means your side deck should be stronger on non-engine, all right? It should complement what you're weaker in, all right? So naturally with hand traps being lower because we're playing a bunch of engine, a bunch of starters, we need to make sure we have plenty of non-engine for when we go second, all right? So 3 evenly to start us off. Plus 3 Dark Ruler. These cards are god cards right now. Evenly could easily be a Raigekis or Lightning Storms, but I like the fact that evenly forces my opponent to remove not just back row, but monsters as well, and it banishes them face down. So that's just ridiculous to me. So pairing these two together is just phenomenal. Dark Ruler is literally a god card right now, being able to shut off your opponent's prayers, being able to shut off Snatchy's effect to synchro because your opponent can't take any damage. That's pretty crazy. So it literally stops a lot of bull coming from your opponent. So you really need to play Dark Ruler inside your side in any build. Evenly is definitely a flexible spot. That's personal preference on my end. I prefer the evenlies over Raigekis or Lightning Storms and Duster. That is it for the breakers. Next up is the remaining 3 ofs here. So naturally I wanted these in because these can be very good in certain matchups. Maybe this is only good in certain matchups. These guys aren't so good in certain matchups. So I can side out the other 2, and then I can side in the Dark Rulers and the evenlies, and then take out a little bit of a little bit of engine. So like this, it makes it very flexible to whatever I'm playing against. Maybe a deck's better with Droll, it's not so good with this, so I don't need these, you know, but this helps you be a lot more flexible. Maybe these are great into whatever matchup you're playing. You side them all in. You could easily do that. You know, with how many 1-card starters we have, we can easily cut down on some of the engine to push in more non-engine when we're going second, just to make sure that we beat our opponent. So got to make sure we have the other 3s. Next is a 2 of here. So we're playing 2 ghost spells. We have plenty of going second cards. Naturally, as you saw, we have a bunch of engine. So we have plenty of room. Ghost Spell answers a lot of decks that Nib and Droll can't answer, such as Draco Tail. So having an additional out for Draco Tail is just phenomenal. Having an additional out for Yummy is phenomenal. So this card is just very good, very flexible for us. And it's also a very great card to put in going first as well too. And then that brings us to our going first cards. So we got to play God cards. So we play the God cards. So we're on 1 anti-spell, 1 Solemn Judgment, and 3 strikes. These are our going first cards. We already have plenty of engine, so this is just kind of like a one more option. I don't really care if I see it or not, but at the end of the day, I did want more support going first and just get rid of some of those bulky hand traps that we don't necessarily need, right? Like the Nibs, right? So Nibs and Fua, I just wanted to be able to side that out. So that's actually my siding pattern. If you haven't realized it, that's how I base it off of the engine and non-engine that I have. So 3 Fuas, 2 Nibs. When I'm going first, that's my siding pattern right there for this deck, right? For this deck, that's how I planned it. That's how I coordinated this. And you know, if I'm going into a deck that doesn't lose to Droll, right? Well, then I take out the 2 Drolls and I just put in 2 Ghost Spells because Ghost Spell is great into almost every deck right now. So there's plenty of ways to play it, plenty of ways. It gives you a lot of diverse and flexibility overall, but this is 100% the correct way to play K9 Fiendsmith in the current format. And I guarantee if somebody took this list and goes to Pittsburgh, you're going to top the event, because K9 Fiendsmith is extremely oppressive, and especially if you're a good pilot. I mean, being a good pilot plays a lot into whether you're going to top an event, how you're going to do an event, and you need to be able to understand your interactions. So hopefully if you're going to Pittsburgh, let me know, and I will make sure I have the combo guides out for you guys so you guys can get a good gist of it, and let me know how you guys do at the upcoming YCS. Peace.
All right, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed that Fiendsmith K9 deck profile. I was very excited to bring this one to you guys. We got so much on the way, guys. I'm still waiting on a lot of cards to come in right now so I can knock out these Mitsu Primite deck profile. That deck's insane. Mitsu Primite's insane, guys. I can't wait to show you guys the combos. I will be dropping a combo guide for K9 Fiendsmith for you guys very soon. It will be on the way, guys. It will be on the way. I know I don't have a mic right now, but the mic is also on the way. So we will have better video quality for you guys, better audio for you guys. It's all coming soon as we continue to grow this beautiful community that we got going on right now, guys. We're almost to 500 subscribers, guys. We are growing pretty fast. We're building a pretty strong community. It is growing really fast. So I appreciate all the feedback, all the love, all the support, everybody in the comments providing all that value, you know, responding to each other, giving me heads up, giving me tips, giving me ideas, and we're just fueling off each other and building this beautiful creative community. I absolutely love it, and I appreciate every single one of you guys out there that take the time to like, comment, you know, subscribing to the channel, and just providing their own value, their own insights to the channel so that we can continue to grow and find new creative ways to adapt the meta. So I'm very happy for that. If you guys got friends, you guys got family, you guys got locals that people just need to get either motivation, inspiration, whether it's mentally or physically, send them to the channel, boys. Send them to the channel. We're all about positive vibes out here. We're all about getting things done and improving ourselves all around. So make sure you guys share the link, you know, talk to your friends, see if they want to add some value to the channel, because I love hearing everybody's ideas. You guys give me ideas, I start cooking up stuff, you guys start cooking up stuff, we start cooking up together, and next thing you know, we might stumble upon a new meta, right? So it's on the way, and I know it's coming, especially with this DM support coming, boys. We got so much on the way, so stay tuned, guys. I'm going to be pumping them out as much as possible, and we will have better video quality, better audio quality for you guys here coming up in the future, right? So that is also on the way. And once we get to that 500 subscriber mark, guys, we will be doing our first giveaway on this channel. I'm very excited to do this. I'm very excited because I get to give back even more to the community. I get to make somebody very happy. I get to make somebody's day. We're going to do a nice, unique way to do this giveaway. It's going to be very fun. We'll do a whole separate video. It's going to be awesome, guys, so stay tuned for that. The side decking video will be coming very soon as well, so I will put out the side decking video. It's just going to be me talking and going over how you guys should approach your side deck and how to side during your events. So that will be also on the way, guys. We got so much, so stay tuned, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay blessed.